Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We've had a lot of fun with this. We thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Thank you for all your comments that have been happening on our Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook has been blowing up lately, which has been awesome. So yeah, don't forget to, if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say thank you for that. I'm Taylor.
I'm Tracy.
And we are
TNT.
Okay, so what are you drinking today? We're doing something a little different.
Yeah, as you know, we normally like to sip on a little chai or some kind of tea. I'm kicking it up a notch today with a Starbucks.
Starbucks!
Yay! I needed a little extra caffeine because, as you know, because you clicked on it, our subject today is sick kids. And we're actually right now dealing with a little sick baby.
I know.
And
it's sad. Breaks my heart.
They always need a little extra TLC, a little extra holding, and sometimes
even in the middle of the night, like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
At least G-Mama doesn't have to take part of that. She's got
True.
she's got the night shift, but I've had the day shift a couple times, and and it's just a little extra. Need a little extra kick to keep up when the baby's sick.
So she's having a flat white, and I can't drink coffee because it makes me sick, unfortunately. So I am pretending to have a white mocha. So it's just a white hot chocolate. But anyway, so at first I think we were just going to share a couple of our stories and experiences with sick kids, and then we'll dive into a couple of tips and advice for you at the end of the video. So yeah, just to kick it off, what she just said right now, my baby girl has an ear infection right now, and I had to go to work this morning for like half a day, and so she actually took her into urgent care for me, which I'm so thankful for.
Yeah, and she tried to get in with a pediatrician, and it just wasn't happening. So we were just like, you know what, we're just gonna take her.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we did. More on that at the end of the video, but always go with your gut instinct for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like last night was kind of the last straw for me because her fever just spiked, and I mean she was just burning up, and as soon as the Tylenol wears off, her fever spikes, and so last night was a little bit rough. I've been doing the night shifts the last couple of nights, and been up for good portion. Last night wasn't as bad as the night before though, because I was literally up until like 2:30, and
that's one of the benefits of being the G-Mama. I don't have to take the night shifts anymore.
Thanks.
At least.
Appreciate it. I was this close to calling you and being like, can you please come over and give me a break, please? I just need some sleep.
Which is not true, because actually I've pulled some night shift around here before. In fact, little mister was just asking me today. He was just like, hey, when are you going to spend the night again?
Oh, a sleepover.
Yeah, to him it's a sleepover.
Yeah.
To us it's a necessity.
When little Miss was born, she came over and spent the night a couple of times just to help with the night shift. But anyway, so last night wasn't quite as bad, but I was up for about an hour, but I just felt like last night I was like, okay, this is kind of the last straw for me. Like, we need to take her in, and unfortunately I had to work, and so thankfully she was able to take her in, and anyway, so she has an ear infection, and we're gonna get her on the antibiotics, and hopefully it'll get better in the next couple of days. She's sleeping right now.
And she'll be hard to keep up with again.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I want to share one story with you, and then I'll let you share. But so 3 years ago now, which I can't believe it's been 3 years. It's crazy how time flies. But anyway, my son came down with RSV and ended up being hospitalized for 4 days, and that was just crazy because at the time she was living out of state, far away from us, and that was really hard not having her here. As you can tell, we're pretty close. And so
but luckily your husband was able to get some time off.
Yeah, he took those days off. He told his boss, like, hey, my son is on his way to the hospital, and so, which is great. I'm thankful that he had a job that was able to accommodate for that, because that would have been even harder for me to be in the hospital by myself. But anyway, he came down with RSV. We took him into urgent care, and that's when, they diagnosed him. I remember the nurse just saying, to look out for him being lethargic. She was like, if that's like the big sign that you need to take him into the hospital. And so sure enough, a couple days later, I just remember him being super lethargic. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. It was scary. So, he always has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Constantly. I mean, he's always just running
had.
around, and that was probably one of the only times that he just laid on my chest for like an hour, and I just remember crying. And one of my good friends is a nurse, and so I called him and was like, what do I need to know? Like, what do I, and he kind of gave me a heads up and everything about, the IVs and stuff. He's like, they're probably going to give him an IV, they have to hydrate him and all that stuff. And so anyway, that's exactly what happened. We went in, and so something we haven't mentioned on our channel yet, but so we are Christians, and we do believe in God, and I definitely felt the Lord with us that week for sure. I remember it took 7 tries for them to get the IV in, and that just like killed me. And on the 7th try, I was only in there for one of the times that they were trying to get in, because they kind of advised me like, hey, this is usually really hard on the mamas, like you might just want to wait outside, and which was very true. But my husband was there with him, and so I went out in the waiting room, and I called my parents, and I was like, I need you guys to pray right now. Like I need you guys to pray that this IV will work and that they can get it in successfully. And we prayed over the phone, and I was just bawling. The doctor came out just a couple minutes later, and he was like, we got it in, it was successful, and like we're good to go. We're going to be moving him into his own room, and all that. And I just remember being so thankful for that. And we had so many people just surrounding us with prayers and support, and I just really appreciated that so much. And but yeah, so after 4 days we went home, and he was fine, and went back to eating and drinking and playing and running around and everything.
And running around.
Yeah, but it's just so hard seeing them go through it. It just like breaks your heart. And
I think it's that feeling of helplessness, like, because as a parent, you always feel like, I need to fix it. And there are times where
there's really not much you can do.
There's not much you can do. You just have to love on them, and in our case, we pray for them, and we leave it in the hands of the Lord and the doctors. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a similar experience. Well, luckily she wasn't in the hospital nearly as long, but it felt like an eternity because my husband was gone at the time.
TDY.
Yeah, TDY. For all you military folks out there, TDY. For you non-military, it just means temporary duty. So he was out of town. We had gone all day, and she seemed perfectly fine.
I remember this.
And then it's like 11 o'clock at night, or I'm going to bed, and she starts throwing up. Tried to wait it out a little bit, and she just wasn't stopping. And you can just tell when your kids are, kind of when they're really sick. You can tell sometimes, oh, okay, it's a cold, or it's a little virus or something going on.
It'll pass.
Right, but there's something in the eyes that I've always felt like there's always something in the eyes that you can really tell when your kids are really sick. I always felt like my kids kind of, for lack of a better way of explaining it, they just seem to glaze over. There just seems to be like no real like brightness or life in their eyes, and I could tell that she was really, really sick. And so had to, here I am, it's the middle of the night, I'm trying to find somebody who I can take my son and get her over to the hospital. And they tried several things in the emergency room to get her to stop throwing up, and it just wasn't happening. The stuff they were giving her was making her throw up more. And
yeah, I remember that. It was, I mean, not to be gross or anything, but it was literally like every couple of minutes. I don't remember how far apart it was, but it was almost like on a perfect
timing.
Like perfect timing or something. Yeah, where I would throw up like every 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, and it was water, everything. She was holding nothing down. You have to figure at this point, I've already been up all day. And now here's the middle of the night, and now she's in the hospital. They finally got an IV in her, got her hydrated, and gave her nothing by mouth at that time. She falls asleep. And of course, I'm in one of those super comfortable chairs in the hospital that, reclines about like like an airplane chair. And I'm trying to sleep as much as I can, and people are coming in and out all night long. So
I remember, I just have to say, because when you said that, I just got this flashback. I remember one of the nurses had really long nails and really cold fingers, and every time she came in, I was like, ugh. She would like push on my belly and like just, I don't know what they were doing exactly, but I just remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, her fingers are freezing and she has these long nails. Anyway.
Wow. It's amazing that you have that clear memory of that.
I know. I do remember it pretty well.
Well, I guess the cold fingers, maybe that just
stuck
in your
my
brain.
It froze in my brain. No, too much. Too far.
So we went all night long and basically no sleep. She did sleep some, but I had a friend call me in the morning and come over and actually brought me a coffee.
Yep, there you go.
And
get that caffeine.
Told me to go home and take a shower, get something to eat, and that she would sit with her. And I was really hesitant to leave because I just felt like I needed to be there with her. What if this, whatever? And she's like, I'll be in contact with you, just go. And I appreciated that so much, to have those. And it was one of my church friends who came and did that for me, and it was a church friend that was keeping my son. I love having my faith family to step in when your real family can't be there. By the time I got back, she was like eating breakfast. They did release her that day, sent her home because she ate a meal, kept it down. We still to this day have no idea what had happened to her.
Nobody knows.
But of course, I still had to go all day long, and my kids were way past nap times. They were older at this point.
Yeah.
And so I had to go all the rest of the day until that night.
Was that like 48 hours without sleep?
Like 36.
Holy cow.
Like 36 hours without sleep. But let me tell you, when I laid down, I was out at that point. I have trouble with insomnia. Did not have any trouble that
Not
night.
that night?
No trouble that night.
You're welcome.
But, that just, brings me to a couple of things that I wanted to share is like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to take help when it's offered.
Yes.
Sometimes we just want to say, oh, it's okay, we don't want to bother, we don't want to be a bother to people. But say yes and take the help.
Something that we say in our circle of friends and stuff, we're like, don't block a blessing. If somebody offers to do something for you, say yes. Don't block that blessing.
Yeah. Give yourself the rest that you need. Don't feel like because although I did stay up all day, I wasn't doing 4 loads of laundry and sweeping floors and getting,
For sure.
We were just getting through the day until it was nighttime again. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing the last couple of days, is just the bare minimum. Everybody is fed and bathed and in bed and everything, and I actually managed to sweep and vacuum the floors last night before bedtime for the kids, and other than that, I really haven't been doing a whole lot like the last couple of days, because I just feel like your kids need your time and attention more when they're not feeling well too.
And like when he had RSV, he never cuddles that much. Take the cuddles while you can get them.
Very true. It's so true. No, I need a cuddle bug. My kids are too busy to cuddle. Something else that I was thinking about too, I think this is different for everybody because everyone has different rules in their house,
right.
But at least in our house, I try to only do movies on the weekend, because I prefer to do movies on the weekend and for special occasions,
right.
And definitely being sick is a special occasion. So we can put a movie on and I can take care of the baby if I need to. And even if only one kid is sick, it just helps a lot to be able to, the one that's not sick, put them in front of a movie and just relax, and you can take care of the one who's sick. Or also, who doesn't like to have a movie marathon when they're not feeling well. I mean,
Right.
honestly,
True.
it's so true, and it keeps them resting, especially if it's any kind of a respiratory thing like RSV or even just a cold or flu and they're stuffed up. The last thing you want them to be doing is running around and getting, out of breath and everything
Right.
too.
And it usually it'll start them coughing and
Yeah.
But when kids have a lot of energy, like I was saying earlier, sometimes this can look very lethargic and the rest of them is still wanting
Running
to
around.
go. So, and maybe it's even a time to do those crafts that you never get to.
Yeah.
Or
Just
sit
have some
down
downtime.
and color with them, reading books, just anything that's relaxed and quiet.
The last thing I was gonna say is sleep when they sleep. And that one's a hard one for me because I like to have some downtime, some quiet time, before I go to sleep and just be alone for a few minutes, and kind of wind down from the day. But I really, when my kids are sick or I know, they're gonna be up throughout the night, I try really hard to like go to bed when they go to bed.
Right.
Because even if you're resting, like it makes a huge difference. But
And you don't know if you're going to have a night shift. So you
Yeah.
might as well get some sleep while you can.
very true, very true. Okay, we are out of time for this video, but
Quiet time is over.
we'd love to hear your stories, your tips and advice. Comment below, tag us in a video,
Absolutely.
all that jazz. But anyway, we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome back for all of you that have been.
Wait, stop.
Actually
I was
watching-
doing weird army thingies. I was trying to warm up a little bit
I was
first.
thinking that would be a good on there. Hey, welcome back.
You gotta give me like a countdown.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Ready, set, go. Okay.
Hey, welcome back. Not to you. Why am I looking at you?
How many bloopers are we gonna have on this one? Now.
Hey, and welcome back.
I was
What?
like, I was doing that while you were like, hey. Hi guys.
What's wrong with you today?
I don't know what's wrong with you today.
Hey, and welcome back to all you 3 people who've been watching us.
Hey, we've had like 15 views.
All right. Hey, we so appreciate you all. We really, really
All
do.
15 of you.
All 15 of you. Having a great time with this, and hopefully
Wait, are we
you've
keeping that? You're not gonna start over?
been having. Okay, you start us. You
Okay.
start us off and ask me
Fine.
what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking? Yeah.
It needs to come
hang
up
on.
higher.
I'm a little too tall.
Okay,
There
I
we
don't-
go. Now we're the same height.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, you start it.
All right.
Fine, you do it.
Okay. Sounds good.